I would also like to say thank you to everybody who gave me well wishes here for my birthday last week. It was actually last Thursday, and also my mom's. So I decided to get a little bit of a haircut. You can see there's a lot of hair on the floor at the barber after I got done. So I thought I'd just change things up a little bit. Let me know if you like the new cut here and the buzz. Well, tonight we're going to do Invicta. So it's been a couple weeks since we did Invicta last time. I actually did that for the first live stream. We're going to have 4 different watches tonight. But first of all, I want to tell you about a very important coupon. So you want to use the coupon Black Friday 20 upon checkout. And what that will do is it will save you an extra 20% off your purchases or your total orders of $99 or more. Of course, that's awesome right now because you want to have some extra with all that shopping that's going on here with the big weekend. I'll tell you, make sure to stay tuned to me, because Shop HQ told me there's going to be different things coming up during the course of the week. So if you're not following me on social media, please do so. On Instagram, I am @RyanCode. And on Facebook, I'm changing that over here too, but it's been a little bit difficult. I made a little bit of a snafu with that. It's still technically Invicta Ryan, but that will be changing. So be sure to follow me on social media. Check that out to see what's coming up. Just for Shop HQ in general, because I mean, you guys love shopping for watches, you like going for jewelry, maybe for some of the ladies in your life out there, and just the wake up in style, fashion stuff. There's a lot, Waterford, everything. So be sure to check that out. All right, some other housekeeping items tonight is there's a $25 credit if you make a comment here on the live stream on Facebook and on YouTube for a $25 Shop HQ credit. So make sure that you say something. Jerry is saying hi here. Invicta Claus, Anthony is here. Michael is there too. Thank you guys. And there's some more. Let me just check here real quick. Bob Cohen is here. There's Shop HQ and Godfather too. Godfather gave me a call on my birthday. It was actually really cool to hear from him. So let's start out. Let me just think of anything else here. Oh, the next show is actually coming up here. It's not going to be Wednesday. I'll have a show next Wednesday, but before that, I'm going to have a show this coming Sunday. So right in the middle of Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and that will also be at 7 p.m. Eastern. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Okay, well, let's kick off the show here. We're going to go with Invicta, as I mentioned before. So Invicta has been a brand that's been around since 1837, all about providing exceptional watches at modest prices. And so many of you are familiar with it. Maybe some of you aren't, that are just tuning in for the first time, but it has been a brand that's been around here and a part of Shop HQ for a number of years. So they're known for just coming out with some unique designs, some different innovations out there that just weren't done in the watch industry. And so let's start out with the first item here. So the first item is, it's an Akula. And this is one of the many different designs of the Akula. Actually, Akula means shark in Russian. And so there are many, many different varieties of the Akula. Let me just show you on the back. You'll see there's actually a submarine in the back. That submarine is actually part of the Akula fleet of submarines. That was a nuclear fleet of submarines in the 1980s in the Royal Russian Navy. So that is what the submarine is for when you order this watch and you get it back. So the retail price on this watch is just under $1,700. I believe it's $1,695. What Shop HQ has done, they brought the watch down 90%, down to $164.99. Now, if you use that coupon code, this one watch qualifies for that coupon code, Black Friday 20. That's going to save you another, 16.5. That's going to be another $33, bringing this watch down to like 132-ish or so, which is amazing. All right, well, let's go through it and see what the watch actually is all comprised of. Now on the website, there's been a couple things that go on with the watch, and people will say it's 58 millimeters. And yes, it is 58 millimeters if you go west to east on the watch. But the main portion of the case here, because you just have these flares that go out on both the west and the east side where the crown is, to really make the watch look more symmetrical. But if you measure from 10 o'clock over to 4 o'clock, it's actually going to be about 52 millimeters for the size of this timepiece. So it does say 58, but don't think 58. It's going to be, really fits more like that 52 inch, the 52 millimeter. So what we have is a really clean dial on the inside of the watch here, and that's with the movement from Time Module Inc., and that's a PC32. That's a quartz movement operated on a battery. You have the 3-hand movement, little date window over at that 3 o'clock position on the watch. Then as we just move down a little bit further, you're gonna have a bracelet. In this bracelet, you'll see the oversized pins that are actually incorporating in the bracelet into the lug area, the timepiece. And you'll see alternating high polished finish for the center links that are raised up a little bit more, almost like a flattened out sort of elongated pyramid. And there's a vertical brush finish, so you can see the difference between just all that gold tone here for this watch. Goes from 32 millimeters right up here all the way down to 26 millimeters. And 26 millimeters is right almost at an inch that's going to wrap around. Now, in terms of the overall size of wrist that those will fit up to, the watch will fit up to about an 8 3/4 inch wrist size. So you have the wrist size out there, pretty big variety of wrist sizes. And of course, you can adjust that with taking out some links, and there are also the micro adjustments, which are right down here to get that perfect fit that your wrist deserves when that watch is on you. Now, something that really stands out about this timepiece are all the crystals. You have these baguette crystals that are on the inside, or on the bezel of this timepiece, that are placed in, and they're 3 millimeter. And though there are a total of 50 of those crystals that are on this watch. So I think that's just, I think it just adds that flair a little bit more, especially for that price, that 165 or so, and then down to about 132, 133. If you use that coupon code Black Friday 20 and use that coupon code multiple times, you just don't have to use it once. If you're like, crap, I just forgot to add another thing to my cart. I already checked out. I can't use that coupon code. This is a multi-use coupon. So go ahead and keep using that coupon. So let me just see a couple of the other things. Make sure I went on. On ShopHQ's website, there's another option here, and you're actually ordering by the dial color. Let me just double check. Yeah, I have the gunmetal, but another option is it's all done in the same thing, except more like a white or silver tone dial. So that's another option for you. This is the only sample that I actually have. So I think it's a fantastic watch. Put it on my wrist here really quick. You can see what this looks like. We have the clasp, very durable clasp. I have about 6 3/4 inch wrist size. So you can see, look at all that sparkle that goes along with those crystals here for the watch. Beautiful timepiece. And again, you got the nice accuracy with that quartz movement on the inside. All right, beautiful timepiece. We're gonna move on. Let me just look at really quick here. Harry is monitoring. Thank you, Harry, for taking care of everything. Ripsaw Joe, good to see you, man. Jerry Jones, nice to see you too. And I wish everybody just a happy Thanksgiving tomorrow. Very thankful for a lot of things in my life, and also all of you customers that have been following me here for like the last 15 years. I genuinely appreciate each and every one of you. And also I have to catch up on it, but a lot of birthday wishes from the groups and everything on social media. And I do thank you for that. Let's see who else here. Ripsaw Joe, Vincent. Hey, thank you very much. Good to see you, Vincent. Thanks for being a part of it. Tim's here. There's Godfather again. Oh, Robert Vega, friend down in Florida. Ken Dickerson is here too, and Rick and Lisa. So yeah, great to have everybody here tonight. Well, let's move on here to the next item. Now, this is a watch that just crushed it when Invicta launched it. I remember we had a special remote broadcast for it when we were down at what was called the Hub. Actually, this watch was so special. It was actually the watch that we first debuted when we were down at the Hub, the Invicta studio at the corporate office in South Florida. And that watch is the Gladiator. Now, this is just a mammoth timepiece. So it's big and bold. Now we're talking about 58 millimeters. It kind of depends where you're measuring it on this watch, because it's a little bit different, because you have that chain link that goes along, that Franco chain that goes up the bracelet, around the side of the case, and then back down. Now let's talk a couple of the business work on this first before I get a little bit more into the watch. So $25.95 retail price, MSRP. ShopHQ slashed it 87% down to $334.99, or technically $335. You add on that coupon code that I told you. Remember, write that coupon code down. That is Black Friday 20. and you will save another 20% off, which is basically another 60, 70 or so dollars off. So you're, looking at 270, 260, I think, 267, somewhere around there, I believe. So beautiful, beautiful price to go along with this watch. Okay, well, let's talk about it. We're talking about the size. It's a bigger timepiece. I mean, look at this on my wrist, or actually, let me just do it in comparison to what we just had before with the Akula. So bigger timepiece, you're gonna have a little bit more thickness on it too. So there are a couple different colors that are available. Let me just check really quick on the website. I think there were, let's see. Oh shoot, where did that go? Gladiator. Here we go. There are two different colors. I have what's called the black. There's also a gold tone. So wherever the black is on this, that is actually plated in that 18 karat gold. So two different options here for this watch. So what is just such a standout feature about this watch, and which just captures so much attention, is, and we have another watch too that's going to really capture some attention also for you. It's not for those who are a little bit more introverted, but just don't leave the house. That's always my saying. Well, here, it's this chain link design that it has stationed in on the bracelet, goes along with the bracelet, moves with the bracelet. Look at this, moves to the bracelet. Then it carries around the case and is held in with these different stations, and then comes around to the other side of the bracelet. But those aren't the only two of those Franco chains on this watch. There's a third one, and the third one is actually located right here on the inner workings of the bezel. So you get to see there's another chain here, and you rotate, and it's all part of the bezel of the watch. I'm just trying to rotate this so you can see it a little bit better. So you get to see that, and just a nice ratcheting click that continues here with this watch. Now, a couple of the metrics on this, we're talking about, that 58 millimeters just sort of depends a little bit where you're really at on it. But the bandwidth is 41 millimeters, and that includes everything, and it tapers down to about that 26 again with that 3-link design after getting the cables done. What we have is that impact-resistant mineral crystal, and the movement on this is the VD53. So that's from a company called Time Module Inc. It's been a big partner of Invicta's for many, many years with all the different movements that they have. And so what you get is you get your you're getting into your seconds, and then you're getting into your 24-hour scale here at the 3 o'clock position, chronograph seconds, chronograph minutes. It's all part of this watch. I like the sunburst dial. It's that pattern textured dial on the inside of the timepiece there. They'll capture, oops, sorry, I smudged up there a little bit. And yeah, just an amazing timepiece. Is going to capture a lot of attention on the wrist. More of a heavily brushed finish, almost like a matte finish here for that center link going down the timepiece also. Yeah, real heavily brushed, really on that borderline of being almost that matte here for the timepiece. Case thickness, 19 millimeters. That's over 3/4 of an inch. It's going to rise up from the wrist when you have this watch on. And let me just double check the size here really quick of what this watch will fit up to for wrist sizes. And it looks like let's see, what are we looking at right here? We're looking at, I would say about 9 inches. So you always go to the number above. So right there, that 9 inches of a wrist size is what this watch is going to fit up to. So just a massive timepiece. Remember, Black Friday 20 to be able to save that extra 20% off of the already reduced price of 87% off. I think that's going to bring it over 90% off then once you use that secondary coupon code. So yeah, I like the big, bold nature of the timepiece. I love the attention that this watch draws. And remember, there's this option. There's another option with the silver tone, except it's called gold tone. And you just click on the link right over here, I think, or is it over here? I got to look at the delay. It's going to be this side. On the side of your screen, you can just click on it. You can look at the different options and then place your order. All right, we're going to go to the third watch here, and we're going to look at the Excursion. This is actually, for sure, the sport watch of the 4 that we have tonight here with the presentation of Invicta watches. So what we're looking at, let me just get here to my page real quick. So what we're looking at, the Excursion was yeah, a patented design from Invicta that's been around, I think, since around 2007, so nearly 20 years with this design. And this is actually the original design of the case that you're looking at right here. Now, in terms of the different options for colors, there are three. This is called the orange turquoise, the color option that I have. Then we have a black and red, so it's a silver tone case. It has a red dial, a little red edge going around the bezel. And there's a gold tone, which has, it's black, and then gold tone for all the metalwork for the timepiece. So this is a 50 millimeter in terms of the case diameter, about 17 millimeters in the overall profile. We have another quartz movement on the inside. It's a VD53, so basically same movement we talked about before. You have your 24-hour hand here that's lined up with the time, so you know whether it's AM or PM. And then you have your chronograph seconds and your chronograph minutes here for the watch. Water resistance on this model is 100 meters of water resistance. Now, I forgot to go over the pricing on this watch. So the pricing, one second here. I just have to go over to the option. Oh shoot, I don't have the price on this. Harry, do you want to put the price on for this timepiece here? For some reason, I don't see it on the website. Let me just double check real quick. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Retail, $1,395. I apologize with that. My page just had to refresh. Shop HQ's brought it down 89%, down to $159.99. Use that coupon code Black Friday 20, and that's going to save you another $32 off that price of $160. So it's putting around that $128 mark. Now, if you want to add some fun and some flair to your collection, look at something like this. I love that turquoise dial and how it plays with the orange that goes around the three different subdials for the movement on this timepiece. Again, the movement is a quartz movement, battery operated, no winding involved, very accurate is what you're getting. But then that orange is inside the dial, plays in the bezel that's alternating with that black for that stationary bezel. And then you're getting that textured strap that has a little reminiscence of one of the later generations of the Excursion that was done in a bracelet form that was actually really, really cool from Invicta. So you get the silicone. You don't have to size any bracelets. Everything else is bracelets tonight. This is the only silicone option for you. And very soft, very lightweight for a bigger watch that's going to be on your wrist, so that 50 millimeter out there. But maybe there's some of you that favorite color is orange, home team color is orange, whatever it happens to be, but definitely is sport oriented that goes along. I'll just do a quick measurement here to find out what wrist sizes actually fit up to. And I'll actually go down to the small wrist size too, because I'm able to do that. All right, we're looking at approximately about 9¼ inch. So this is probably the most generous out of all the different options tonight. If you have a larger wrist size, you want to pluck one of these watches tonight, you can definitely do so. Now, if I go all the way to the smallest size here, let's see, we have two different keepers too on the watch, which is going to, they're floating keepers, meaning you can move them anywhere you need to just really help keep that strap down. Look at that, that's a small wrist. And this is for Miss Tanya Clark, because she always wants to know. And I would say 6 3/4, because we're looking at that line right there. Although you could maybe have a 6½ inch wrist, because the silicone's going to it's going to grip onto your wrist just a little bit more. Actually, I have a 6 3/4 inch wrist. Let me just see how this fits on me really quick. This is a fun watch. This might be my favorite out of all the different options here tonight. So if I have on the watch here, yep, I was pretty much right. So I'm 6 3/4, but there's one notch left that's actually under the buckle right here. So about down to a 6½ inch wrist size. So a wide variety of wrists. I'm gonna keep that one on. Let's see, yeah, love that color choice out there. You got the mineral crystal. Yeah, wide variety of wrist sizes out there. All right, we're gonna go to the final watch here. Let me just look at up here on my other screen real quick. Any other comments? Well, happy Thanksgiving to all of you guys. I just wish both you and your families, friends, and loved ones just the best here throughout the holiday weekend. Enjoy, be safe, and have a lot of fun, and think about a lot of those things that you're thankful for. And I'll definitely be doing that here myself. All right. Well, the final watch here is from the Pro Diver collection. And just 1 second, because I want to just check something really quick here on the website. So I have a color here, but that color's not available, but it's the same watch. So you can click on it, but I'll just show you in terms of what the size is and everything. So this is a Pro Diver, and it's done with the hydroplating on it. Now the price is $150 or $1,095. ShopHQ brought down 85%, down to $159.99. So that's 85% off. You add in that coupon code of Black Friday 20, you're going to get another $32 off. So it brings it down to $128 yet again by using a coupon code. You can use that coupon code. If you forgot something later tonight and be like, you know what, I want to get something with that, you can do that, or you can buy something else on ShopHQ's website. So this is a camouflage version. This is a sample that was sent to me from the Invicta distributor. Very nice guy, by the way. And so we didn't know though, this I don't think is available right now, but there are two different options if you just click on the screen. So I'm just going to go through the metrics, but there's a white, it's called white multi for the bracelet. Then you have to go with the dial color. And there's either a white dial or a blue dial. And it's more of a graffiti style for the hydroplating that goes around for the bracelet and also the case and the outer perimeter of the bezel on this watch, which is fixed. Now this is basically that Pro Diver Scuba, that 49 millimeter, one of Invicta's best-selling designs of all time. And what they did is just came out with this hydroplating, I think it was like 2019-ish or so. I remember it was on with Todd Newton. And we did it on a Bolt Zeus, and it was just absolutely crazy. Everybody loved it. And so this is just a really cool technique. It's basically like a water transferring process of a two-dimensional image to a three-dimensional object. The image is actually floating on the very top of the water, and then the different components are actually dipped in, and then the image adheres to the timepiece. So every single watch will just be a little bit different, unless it's like one solid color. So with this watch here, you're looking at that 49 millimeters for the case diameter. The profile on the timepiece should be right around that 17 millimeters. Mineral crystal on the inside. You're going to fit up to about an 8.5 inch wrist with this watch. You have the quartz movement on the inside. This is a VH63, so that's a multi-function. So what you have is you have your calendar date here at the 3 o'clock position. You have your 24-hour scale at the very bottom, and then you have your day of the week at that 9 o'clock subdial. So you get different forms of information. It's not a chronograph like the other two watches were, where you have the function pushers. So you can just set those by pulling out the crown and advancing time forward and such. But just a little bit different play here in terms of movements here tonight. So I really like the selection that the buyers here at ShopHQ actually picked out tonight for everything. But this hydroplating is extremely durable. I mean, we've even taken before, scratched it like with a screwdriver. Now, if you scratch on it too much, you're going to go through it, but it's an extremely durable product. And the other thing too is about this that I really like is it's fingerprint proof. You can have some gummy fingers and you can touch this watch and you're not going to see anything that comes up on it. If you touch a crystal, of course, yeah, you're going to see it, but it's a little bit more durable in terms of that. And just like any other watch, just in terms of keeping it clean, just use a little bit of mild soap and some water, and you can brush it with a brush, like a toothbrush or anything else, and then just pad dry it after you wash it off just with some water. Very easy. I'll put this watch on my wrist here too. But yeah, so we have two different colors. Remember, this color technically isn't available right now. You can always go back and check out ShopHQ's website. Maybe this option is going to land here over the course of the weekend. But remember, follow me on social media. Follow me on Instagram. I'd love to see your follows tonight. That's the Ryan Code, the.ryan.code on Instagram. Facebook, it's still Invicta Ryan, but that will be changing over here when Facebook is allowing me to actually change that. So yeah. And then if you want to reach out to me, you can reach out to me too by going to any one of those two different mediums on social media and send me a private message. Also, I'll try to get back to you. If I don't for some reason, just check out my message from before. So it goes to the top of my inbox. Sometimes it gets a little bit overwhelming. But outside of that, let me see if there are any other And Ken Brewer is here. And we have Anthony from before. You guys remember, make sure to use that coupon. And all of you who actually made a comment here on the live stream on Facebook and also on YouTube have a chance to win that $25 credit, and ShopHQ will reach out to you. So outside of that, we're going to wrap things up. But remember, have it in your calendar, or you can go to ShopHQ's website. And by doing that, you can also add, sorry, just had a mind blank for a second. You go to ShopHQ's website. Oh yeah, you can go and click on the calendar and just add the show to your calendar. But remember, we're doing it every Wednesday, or almost every Wednesday, at 7 p.m. Eastern. But this Sunday, there's a bonus show at 7 p.m. Eastern. So mark that in your calendar, and we'll see you here next week. Everybody, all of you and yours and your family and loved ones and friends, you guys all enjoy the holiday weekend here. Be thinking about you guys, and I'll see you in just a few days here on Sunday. Take care, and thank you for tuning into the show.